The night was cold, and the city lights shimmered like a million distant dreams, each one flickering with hope or despair. On the rooftop of the tallest building in the heart of the city, Jonathan Reed, the young and wealthy CEO of a multinational conglomerate, stood alone, staring at the endless skyline. His life was supposed to be perfect, a mansion filled with luxury, a car collection that could make anyone jealous, and business deals that shaped industries. But tonight, he felt a hollowness he could no longer ignore, a quiet loneliness that whispered through the corridors of his heart. Just a few floors below, a single lamp illuminated the security office where Emily Carter sat, her hands wrapped around a worn-out coffee mug, watching monitors that flickered with images of the city she had grown to love. She was not rich, nor was she glamorous. She wore her simplicity like armor, a single mother who worked long hours just to keep a roof over her daughter's head. And yet, without knowing it, she was about to change Jonathan's life forever. Before we dive deeper, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of love that defies social barriers, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps stories like these reach hearts everywhere. It started on a rainy Tuesday, the kind that soaked the streets and painted the city in a melancholic gray. Jonathan had stayed late at the office, buried in reports and contracts when the storm hit. The elevators stalled, trapping him between floors, and the lights flickered. Panic set in, not for himself, but for the security guard downstairs, the one who had been working tirelessly through the storm. Emily had volunteered to stay behind, despite the drizzle soaking her coat, just to ensure the building and its people were safe. Something about her diligence, her quiet strength, and the warmth in her eyes, even through the security camera lens, struck Jonathan deeply. That night, he decided to meet her, a spontaneous act that would have seemed absurd to anyone else. Jonathan descended to the lobby, shaking water off his expensive coat, and saw her standing there, hair damp from the rain, yet smiling politely at him, as if she were greeting an old friend. There was no pretense, no air of superiority, just a human connection that seemed impossible in a world divided by wealth and class. Emily's life was a constant struggle, balancing multiple jobs, paying bills, and ensuring her young daughter, Lily, never felt the sting of poverty. She had grown used to people looking at her with pity or indifference, but Jonathan didn't look at her that way. His eyes held something rare, respect and genuine admiration. That first night, under the glow of the lobby lights, as rain dripped from the ceiling outside, a silent understanding passed between them, a spark neither could deny. Weeks turned into months. Jonathan found excuses to visit the building more often, sometimes under the guise of business, sometimes simply to see Emily. Their conversations were small at first, weather, books, the mundane, but gradually they opened their hearts to each other. Jonathan learned about Lily, her love for painting, and her dreams of going to college one day. Emily learned about Jonathan's past, the pressures of wealth and the isolation that came with his status. They laughed, they shared secrets, and they discovered that love could bloom in the unlikeliest of places. But happiness, as it often does, drew attention. Whispers began in Jonathan's circles, his colleagues noticing the CEO's sudden fascination with the security guard. Friends offered advice laced with judgment, while social media speculation spread like wildfire. Why is a man of his stature interested in someone so ordinary? They asked. It's impossible. It will never work. The pressure was suffocating. Emily felt it too, carrying the weight of judgment from people who didn't even know her. Her coworkers, her neighbors, even strangers in the grocery store would stare, speculate, or whisper behind her back. She questioned herself, her worth, and whether she deserved someone like Jonathan. But every time doubt crept in, Jonathan reminded her with his actions rather than words. He showed up when Lily was sick,
He encouraged Emily's dreams, and he celebrated her small victories. Slowly, Emily realized that love wasn't about wealth, status, or societal approval. It was about trust, care, and unwavering support. The breaking point came on a summer evening when Jonathan's family formally intervened. They had arranged a dinner at their mansion, expecting Emily to be intimidated, out of place, or to decline altogether. But Emily arrived, humble yet confident, her presence illuminating the grand dining hall more than the crystal chandeliers ever could. She spoke with sincerity, answered questions honestly, and treated everyone with grace. Jonathan watched her from across the table, his heart swelling with pride and admiration. And something miraculous happened. His family, even the ones most resistant to change, began to see her not as a security guard, but as a person, a human being deserving of love and happiness. But the world outside was not so forgiving. Rumors escalated, fueled by social media influencers and tabloid journalists eager to mock the unlikely pairing. Jonathan's business rivals tried to exploit the relationship, insinuating that his judgment was clouded, his empire vulnerable. Emily endured criticism she had never imagined, her courage tested at every turn. But together they refused to crumble. They learned to protect their bubble of love against the storms of judgment, leaning on each other for strength. Every small act, a handwritten note, a quiet evening painting with Lily, a shared cup of coffee, became a defiance of societal norms, a statement that love cannot be measured by money or class.
One rainy evening, the turning point came when Lily, Emily's daughter, placed a small hand-painted card in Jonathan's hands. "Thank you for loving my mom," it read, with a little heart drawn in crayon. Jonathan's eyes welled up with tears, realizing that he wasn't just loving Emily, he was becoming part of a family, part of a life built on resilience, hope, and unwavering trust. That moment crystallized everything for him. He no longer cared what society thought. He was ready to fight for this love, to show the world that kindness, sincerity, and genuine connection were far more powerful than wealth or appearances. The final test came unexpectedly, in a way that neither Jonathan nor Emily could have prepared for. A scandalous article hit the news, falsely claiming that Emily was using Jonathan for financial gain. The comments section exploded with hate and skepticism. Emily felt her knees buckle, but Jonathan held her tightly, reminding her that they knew the truth of their hearts, and that was all that mattered. They decided to confront the media, not with anger, but with openness, sharing their story honestly and vulnerably. Slowly, the tide began to turn. People were moved by Emily's honesty, by Jonathan's unwavering devotion, and by the authenticity of their love. Society's whispers, once a source of shame, became stories of inspiration. As months passed, the couple built a life grounded not in opulence, but in purpose and shared happiness. Jonathan invested in Emily's dreams, helping her start a small art studio where Lily could grow creatively and other children could find a space to explore their passions. Emily continued her security work for the sense of fulfillment it gave her, but with newfound pride and recognition for her unwavering integrity. Together, they became a symbol that love transcends social boundaries, that courage can redefine expectations, and that human connection is the greatest wealth of all. Their love story became a quiet revolution, whispered in boardrooms and echoed in small cafes across the city. People began to rethink their prejudices, to understand that the heart does not follow the rules of society. And for Jonathan and Emily, every challenge faced, every scorn endured, became a testament to their resilience, proving that love, when nurtured with sincerity, patience, and care, could survive even the harshest judgment. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that love knows no bounds and that courage can overcome societal barriers, please engage with this video. Like, comment, and share it with someone who needs hope. Your support keeps stories like these alive, spreading warmth and inspiration in a world that sometimes forgets the beauty of genuine connection. Before you go, take a moment to comment below with your thoughts. How would you have faced the judgment and challenges Emily and Jonathan encountered? Your words could inspire someone else to believe in love, courage, and second chances. In the end, Jonathan and Emily's story was never just about a CEO and a security guard. It was about two human beings daring to love against all odds, proving that the heart is the ultimate equalizer. And as the sun set over the city skyline, they stood together, hand in hand, knowing that no whisper, no scorn, and no societal rule could ever define the strength of their love.